sophomore Jakari Johnson with 44 seconds left. Scott added 2 more freebies with 7 seconds to go, and IPFW pulled away with a 72-69 win over North Dakota State. Tonight, Dons try to make it 2 in a row over teams from the Dakotas as they entertain the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Maas. Welcome once again to IPFW basketball here on College 5 Sports. I'm joined by Charlie Washington, and Charlie, Thursday night, IPFW could have folded up to 10 at halftime because they were trailing by 12 points to the best independent team in the country.
Well, this team all year has shown a lot of resiliency. Took some lumps on the road, but playing quite well at home, especially as of late. And we look tonight for them to come out strong. This is where they practice. We're home away from home here at the Don Dome, we'll call it. And so they should be very comfortable here. DeWitt Scott has to continue his hot shooting and strong leadership for this basketball team. And we can get some inside-outside action with Tyler Best and Keene, the outside shot of DeWitt Scott. I think we'll be in good shape this evening, Mike.
Well, not only did IPFW snap a 4-game overall losing streak, but that win Thursday night over the Bison from North Dakota State extended their home court winning streak to 5 games in a row. Tonight, South Dakota State comes to town. They're a young team, also a Division I team going into the Mid-Con next year like IPFW. But when you have a young team going up against a team that's on a row after the big come-from-behind victory, what can you expect to see here on the court?
Well, hopefully the Dons will come out with certainly a sense of urgency. We're on a roll. This is a team, a future mid-con foe, so they have to come out with that sense of urgency. And if we get this team down, do not let them gain confidence. Young teams have nothing to lose, and if they gain some confidence against a team like this on the road, it could be dangerous for the Dons. So hopefully that will not happen.
Well, it is cold on the outside. We hope it is warm on the inside. IPFW getting ready to take on South Dakota State. Stay tuned. Starting lineups and the opening tip coming up next, right here on College 5 Sports.
I guess I sound like most kids. I work hard, I go to class, and I want a degree that's going to mean something. I had offers from other universities, but I wanted the best out of my college choice. I wanted a great education and the campus life to go with it. Student housing, Division I sports, I found it all right here at IPFW. Hey, this is my university, my life, so it's gotta feel right. I'm really glad I chose IPFW. I love it here. Go to their website.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne, one university, 2 great names.
A college education should be more than textbooks and classroom learning. On this month's IPFW Up Close, we're going to focus on 2 very different but important aspects of a student's education. We'll talk with Professor Frank Balladino about his ongoing research with endangered leatherback turtles in Costa Rica. And we'll go in a completely different direction and get the inside scoop on intramural sports programs on campus and find out why they're so popular. Join me for IPFW Up Close Sundays at noon on CATV 5.
It's IPFW Mastodon Basketball, live from the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum. Brought to you by College 5 Sports on My Network. Digital broadcast 33.2, Comcast 252.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW. Along with Charlie Washington, this is Mike Maas, and we are moments away from the start of tonight's men's basketball game featuring the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State and the IPFW Mastodons. Charlie Washington, it's a festive crowd in here at the Gate Center. As we said a little earlier in the pregame chat, a change of venue tonight. First time in a long time that men's basketball is being played here at the Gate Center as opposed to the Memorial Coliseum.
Well, the Dons should feel very comfortable here, and like you said, a very festive crowd. A lot's going on. Looks like it's 70s night. It's Coaches Against Cancer evening. A large crowd here for the Dons, and we're looking for great things out of the Mastodons this evening.
Now let's give you tonight's starting lineups. First for the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State, who come in with a record of 5-18. They run 3 guards. Jose Frias is a 6'2 senior out of New York. Garrett Callahan is a 6'1 freshman out of Seneca, Illinois. And Matt Cadwell, leading scorer, is a 6'3 sophomore from St. Paul, Minnesota. Up front, Kai Williams, who's a 6'6 freshman out of Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. And Michael Loney is a 6'6 junior out of Humboldt, Iowa. The head coach in his 12th year is Scott Nagy. For IPFW, starting at the point guard will be Chris Perkins. He is a 6'2 junior from Villa Park, Illinois. Also at a guard will be DeWitt Scott, 6'6 junior from Chicago. Up front, Justin Hawkins, a 6'6 senior from Garrett, Indiana. And Jerron Burrows, a 6'8 junior from Nassau in the Bahamas. And at center will be Tyler Best. He is a 6'9" senior from West Lafayette, Indiana. Head coach in his second year at IPFW is Dane Fife. Our officials tonight, Bill Forehand, Danny McKenzie, and Dave Gentili. We're ready to go. IPFW in the home white. They'll be going from left to right in the first half, and the tap is controlled by the visitors, the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. And they quickly get the ball in the forecourt. Looking around against an IPFW man-to-man defense. First shot of the game is no good by Kai Williams. Tyler Best with the rebound. Here come the Dons up the floor. Tyler Best left side to Hawkins. Hawkins did not play Thursday night against North Dakota State due to illness. Turnaround jumper from Tyler Best is good. IPFW out to a 2-0 lead.
Great start for Tyler Best. Would like to see him going to the basket and not fading away, but great start for Tyler and the Dons.
Garrett Callahan, watched by Chris Perkins. Again, South Dakota State, a young team, a small team, and they travel with the basketball. First turnover of the night. IPFW will put the ball in play. We played 56 seconds, 2-0 our score. Mastodons on top. Again, welcome to IPFW basketball tonight from the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here on College 5 Sports. Chris Perkins brings the ball up over midcourt, where he's picked up by Garrett Callahan. Best in the low block. Driving on Loney. Turnaround jumper again in the air, no good. Rebound pulled down by Callahan. And he will bring the ball up over midcourt.
And the reason I said a moment ago, Mike, I don't like to see Tyler fading away. That time he did not make the shot, and he was in no position to get any offensive rebound.
Callahan, top of the key, driving on Perkins, cut off. Three-point shot on the way, no good by Williams. Excuse me. IPFW with the ball. Burrows down low, double team, forces up a shot, doesn't make it, but he draws the foul. And he will shoot two. Foul is on Michael Loney, his first, team first. Comes with 18-19 left here in the first half. At the free throw line, Burrows, 64% foul shooter. And the first one clanks off the rim, no good.
Mike, though, is good to see the Dons going inside early. That should be a good sign for the outside shooting. They are trying to establish their inside play, so that should bode quite well for outside shooters like DeWitt Scott.
Second free throw is good. IPFW now off to a 3-0 lead. And back come the Jackrabbits. There's Frias in the corner, driving on Hawkins. Pass intended for Cadwell. Little errant pass. Turnover number 2 on South Dakota State.
Tough pass to dribble to the left and a player cutting to the right and try to hook up that way. Not always easy to do, and that pace shows that it indeed was not.
IPFW now working the ball on the perimeter. Here's Perkins, and he'll launch a three. Yes. Chris Perkins feeling much more comfortable at the point guard position. Puts IPFW up 6-0. We've got 17:43 to go here in the first half. Loney, high post, left side pass to Frias. Frias driving, and we have a blocking foul, I believe, called on IPFW. Dave Gentili going to call the foul on Justin Hawkins. His first on IPFW.
Well, Hawk was there, he just did not get a better angle.
Lob pass inside, shot up, and finally in by Kai Williams. So South Dakota State on the board at the 17:30 mark. It's 6-2 IPFW. Pass knocked out of bounds, intended for Burrows. And they're going to say it went off IPFW last. So South Dakota State will bring the ball up the floor. Again, they're moving from right to left on your TV screen. Callahan watched by Perkins. And Mastodons in that man-to-man defense, although we may see a 1-3-1 zone later on. Loney, top of the key, off the rim, no good. Perkins with the board, and Chris wants to run. Pulls up, 16-footer, off the rim, no good. Loney with the board. Back come the Jackrabbits. Back and forth we go. Frias inside, shot no good. Charging foul called on Jose Frias. His first, team's second.
Mike, that call is one of the most difficult calls. You ask any referee, one of the most controversial, difficult calls to make. To me, from my courtside coaching seat, looked like Burroughs did not get there in time. But, hey, we'll take that charge.
Jakari Johnson replacing Justin Hawkins for IPFW. Johnson, a sophomore from Grand Rapids, Michigan, wears the number 2 in the back of his jersey and the front of it as well. 18 seconds on the shot clock. DeWitt Scott has the ball knocked out of his hands by Frias. Possession remains with IPFW. 16:28 left here in the first half. Mastodons lead South Dakota State 6-2. Best now may work a little bit on Loney. Scott for 3. Off the rim, no. Rebound pulled down by Williams. And here is Callahan. Callahan in the trees, banks it off the glass and in.
It was a nice move that time by Callahan there, going to the basket.
6-4 is our score. The IPFW lead shot to 2. Under 16 minutes. Scott in the lane. Let's go, and knocks it down. DeWitt Scott gets his first points of the night. 8-4 is the score. IPFW on top.
Good to see DeWitt as great a three-point shooter as he is, not just settling for it.
Callahan misfires on a 3 ball. Jakari Johnson brings it down. 15:35 to go in a half. Jakari, pull-up jumper, short, and that goes out of bounds. No, I take that back. It's picked off by Williams, who gets it to Cadwell. Inside, back to Williams, off the glass and in. Kai Williams with 4 points, and it's an 8-6 IPFW lead.
Very good secondary break that time by the Jackrabbits. Kind of going at a tortoise pace on the secondary break.
Burroughs.
Still effective.
Burroughs in the low block. Spin move on Williams. Shot a little strong. Williams with the board. Under 15 minutes. As you said, Charlie, the pace is quick here. Loney down low on Best. Shot rejected by Burroughs. And Geron's going to play the role of the point guard. Here's Best, top of the key. Jakari Johnson down low to Tyler. Driving on Loney. Reverse layup is good.
Great spin that time in the post, that time by Tyler Best, and then going underneath the basket, using the rim as an extra defender so that the Jackrabbit couldn't get to it.
TB, as his teammates call him, now with 4 points. Williams, top of the key. Here's Cadwell. Frias has the ball knocked away, but picked up by Cadwell. Shot off the rim, no. Fight for the board. Loney gets it, puts it back up and in. Michael Loney outdueled Jakari Johnson. And it is now 10-8 as we are under 14 minutes here left in the first half. A bevy of substitutes at the scorer's table at the next dead ball. Perkins off the rim, no. Burroughs with the putback, no, but Geron is fouled, and when we come back from our first timeout, he'll be going to the free throw line. Let's see who they call the foul on first. The foul is going to be called on Cadwell, his first, team third. Timeout on the floor. IPFW up 10-8. This is IPFW basketball on College 5 Sports.
I've gone away to a college where the class size is small.
I've gone away to a college with a beautiful campus.
I've gone away to a college that cares about diversity.
I've gone away to a college where I get to live in my own apartment instead of living in a dorm room.
I've gone away to a college that really isn't that far away at all.
I go to IPFW.
IPFW.
I go to IPFW.
To find out more about college life at IPFW, go to our website. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Diabetes is a killer. After I was diagnosed, I didn't feel sick, so I didn't listen to my doctor. Then it struck. I had a heart attack, then a stroke, and I was only 49.
People with diabetes are 2 to 4 times more likely to suffer a stroke than people without diabetes, and many who survive are severely disabled.
Don't let diabetes destroy your life.
Learn how to reduce your risk of stroke. Call for your free diabetes survival guide.
To find out what's going on with the IPFW men's basketball program, tune into the Dane Fife Show. It's on 3 times a week, Wednesdays and Fridays at 7 o'clock, Saturdays at 12 noon. The show is hosted by yours truly. Dane talks about IPFW hoops against the Dane Fife Show. Catch it 3 times a week here on College 5 Sports. At the free throw line is Jerron Burrows, and he knocks down the first one. He now has 2 points on the night. 13 minutes and 48 seconds left here in the first half. IPFW up 11-8 over South Dakota State. And make it 12-8 as Burrows knocks the second one down. He is now replaced by Justin Hawkins. Also checking in, Demetrius Johnson, Željko Egorich, and Pat Lepper, as well as Quentin Carruthers. So it's nearly a fresh 5 for Dane Fife squad.
It's almost like a white ball game with both teams substituting all 5 players after about 5 minutes.
Here's Thomas Bassett up top. Foul line extended, jumper up and in by Cadwell. It's the first points of the night for the leading scorer for South Dakota State.
And that was a good-looking shot. Mike Quentin Carruthers played very good defense with the outstretched hand.
Lepper from downtown, in and out, no good. Hawkins with the offensive board. Inside, Carruthers, finger roll, no good. Whistle. They're going to count the bucket? No. They're going to say the ball was tipped in the cylinder, so basket interference. South Dakota State now with the basketball. That's McKenzie Casey. Down low to Mark Engen. At 6'10", he's the tallest player on the floor for either team. Baseline drive cut off by Carruthers. 10 on the shot clock. Casey, watched by Demetrius Johnson. Hands it off to Bassett. 3-pointer up and in by Cadwell. And North Dakota State takes their first lead of the night, 13-12.
That's a little bit too open. I'm sure it was a good screen and well-designed play, but we cannot give Callahan openings like that.
Justin Hawkins knocks down a 3. He's in the board with 3 points. IPFW retakes the lead 15-13 as we near the 12-minute mark. Casey wants to rub off a pick. Instead he gets it to Cadwell. Cadwell. Casey on the wing, down low, off the glass, no good. Put back, no good. Tapped out, Casey fakes the 3. Pull-up jumper is no good by Kleinjohn, but he is fouled, and Andy will go to the line and shoot 2. See who the foul is on. Well, we'll tell you who it is when we come back. 11:46 left in the half. It's IPFW 15, South Dakota State 13. You're watching IPFW basketball on College 5 Sports.
You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales, you're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Parents, there's something you can do to protect your kids from drugs and alcohol. Combine ground beef with egg, tomato sauce, breadcrumbs, and spices. Bake in an oven-safe pan at 350 for 50 minutes. Serve hot.
This is Jamie Lee Curtis. Children who eat dinner with their families are less likely to smoke, drink, or use drugs. So, have dinner together every day.
Delicious.
A message from CASA, the National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse at Columbia University.
For tickets to IPFW athletic events, you can either make a phone call to 260-481-6000, or you can go to the IPFW Athletics website, www.gomastodons.com. Again, 481-6000, the phone number, www.gomastodons.com. GoMastodons.com is the website for tickets to IPFW athletic events. Andy Kleinjohn will be at the free throw line, shooting 2. And the first one is no good. Kleinjohn, a 71% foul shooter coming into this game. 6'3" senior. Out of Bruce, South Dakota. Second one also no good. Egerich with the rebound, and he is fouled by Thomas Bassett. His first, team fourth. So here come the Dons up the floor, leading by 2. Going from left to right on your television screen. Pat Lepper, top to Egerich. Perimeter passing by IPFW. Here's Demetrius Johnson. Give and go to Egerich. Turnaround shot. Instead gives it to Lepper. Lepper knocks one down.
Great pass that time by Egerich. Created a lot of action inside and drew some defenders to him and created an open opportunity for Lepper.
Floridian in the books. 3-point shot up and in by Williams. He now has 7 points. Our score, 17-16 in favor of IPFW. 11 minutes to go here in the first half. With Scott. Passes it to Demetrius Johnson. Kicks it out. Scott for 3. Yes. DeWitt Scott now with 5 points. Well, they're going to call it a long 2 instead. Only 19-16 in the lead. Now we have a whistle away from the ball and a player control foul, I believe. Going to be called on Kleinjohn.
That's an illegal screen, and something about their screens. They've been setting pretty good screens, and what the Dons have been doing that you really can't do with good three-point shooters is go underneath the screen, because when you go underneath the screen, you get a good three-point opportunity.
At this juncture, both teams 7 of 15 from the floor. Both teams hitting 2 3-point field goals as well. Under 10.5 minutes to go in a half. And IPFW loses the basketball. Kleinjohn will bring it up over midcourt. And they work it into the corner for Callahan. Baseline drive off the rim, no good. Demetrius Johnson comes back the other way. Lepper behind the arc. And again, IPFW working it on the perimeter. Tyler Best handing it off to Lepper. Three-pointer on the way, off the rim, no good. Williams skies high for the rebound. Gives it to Callahan. We played a little over 10 minutes here at the Gates Center. IPFW up 19-16. Three-point shot by Williams again goes down. Kai Williams now with 10 points. And we are tied 19 apiece.
Williams looking very good. I hope he doesn't score much more. You may have to pronounce where he's from again. I was very impressed with that, Mike.
DeWitt Scott, right side pass to Johnson. That's what like to get a little inside game going if they can. Tyler Best gives it to Hawk underneath. The shot is up and in. Count it, and there's a foul.
Great pass that time by Best. Couple of dribbles, created a lot of attention. As soon as the help defender came, Hawkins made a great cut right to the front of the rim and got a good pass from Tyler Best.
Foul is on Callahan, his first, team 6th. Unselfish there on the part of the Mastodons. And now the Hawk, as he's called. Senior from Garrett, Indiana at the line. Just a 57% foul shooter, but that one bounces off the rim, no good. 21-19 our score. Frias. Well, we get a whistle. We're going to call DeWitt Scott with the foul. His first, team 3rd. Burrows back on the floor for IPFW. Replacing Hawkins. Garrett Callahan will pull the trigger for the Jackrabbits underneath his own basket. It's way out top to Frias, and now they work the ball on the perimeter. Williams, watched by Burrows. Give and go to Loney. Trying to drive on Best, and we have a traveling call. Turnover on South Dakota State. Their 4th.
That time a matter of Maloney trying to do a little bit too much in the post after the catch.
8:57 left here in the first half. Mastodons lead South Dakota State 21-19. Perkins back in the game at the point guard spot. Best driving on Loney, double team. And now they're going to say that Tyler Best dragged his pivot foot.
Real similar situation. Best did about the same thing Loney did. Got it in the post and tried to do a little bit too much. Sometimes if you don't have anything after one dribble or so, you might need to kick it back out early.
3 turnovers now on IPFW. Jackrabbits with a chance to tie with a deuce or take the lead with a tray. 3-pointer is no good. DeWitt Scott has the ball knocked out of his hands by Frias. It'll be Mastodon ball. Dane Fife saying, wasn't there a foul over the back foul?
Callahan missed that 3-point shot, Mike, but still a little concerned with how open he was on that look.
Scott pulls up jumper, no good. Williams pulls down another board. He has 4 rebounds already. Here's Callahan, watched by Perkins. Frias, on top of the key. Cadwell. Oh, got it to Loney. Nearly gave it up. 10 on the shot clock. Callahan near midcourt, wants to drive on Chris Perkins, rubs off a Williams pick. Give and go. Callahan inside the arc. Pull-up jumper is good at the shot clock. Horn went off. Callahan with 4. We're tied at 21.
It's a great faking for a pull-up mid-range jump shot. Good rhythm that time by Callahan.
Best again wants to drive on Loney. Gets it back out to DeWitt Scott. Under 7.5 minutes left in the half. 21 apiece here at the Gate Center. 15 on the shot clock. Quentin Crothers, the senior from Flint. He's inside the arc. His shot off the back of the iron, no good. Callahan with a rebound. Back comes South Dakota State. Frias for 3 is good. Jose Frias, his first points of the night. Second lead for South Dakota State, 24-21. Under 7 minutes to play in a quickly moving first half. Here's a steal by Frias. Bad pass by Best. Frias banks it off the glass and in.
And what we said at the outset, Mike, this young basketball team from South Dakota State now has confidence, and the Dons have to regain control and momentum of this basketball game.
6.5 minutes to go. 26-21 our score. Perkins in and out, no good, but Chris fought for the rebound, but Kai Williams pulls it away from him. And here is Frias, Jose Frias, the senior from New York. Cadwell, again averaging 13.5 points a game, leading South Dakota State in scoring. He'll fire a 3 and hit it. Oh, caught a long 2, says Dave Gentile.
Once again, Mike, we're still going underneath screens instead of fighting over the top of screens. As long as we go behind those screens, they're going to continue to get open shots.
Dane Fife is hollering for a timeout, and he finally gets it with 5:54 left. We'll keep it right here. You look at some numbers, Charlie. South Dakota State, 12 of 22 from the floor for 55%, 4 of 8 from behind the arc for 50%, 0 for 2 at the free throw line. IPFW just 8 of 20 from the floor for 40%, 2 of 5 from three-point range for 40%, 3 of 5 at the charity stripe for 60%. Rebound edge goes to South Dakota State 13-10. Turnovers 4 apiece. Points in the paint favor South Dakota State though, 10-6 as we look at a replay.
And you see once again right there, DeWitt Scott in that replay, Mike, not even in the picture, going underneath the screen. You have to fight over the top. That's why they're shooting 50% from three-point land right now, because they're getting such open looks.
Tyler Best will inbound the ball underneath the zone basket. 26 in the shot clock, 5:54 in the first half game clock. IPFW down 28-21. Demetrius Johnson to Scott. Three-pointer on the way. That's off the rim, no good. Frias pulls down the rebound. Gives it to Callahan. Callahan, lost by Demetrius Johnson. And IPFW in that man-to-man defense. Williams for three, no good. Demetrius Johnson with the board, he's on the run. Burrows to Scott. Spin move, shot up, no good, but we've got a whistle and foul. Foul is on, I believe, Michael Loney, but we've got timeout on the floor, so we'll take a break. 5:20 left in the half. It's the Jackrabbits 28, the Mastodons 21. You're watching IPFW basketball on College 5 Sports.
Mom, Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows, communication or science or math. That's what life's all about, right? Learning so you can pass on knowledge to younger minds. Dad, Mom, I want to be a teacher.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Life is good, but with a master's degree from IPFW, it could be even better. You could land a promotion, earn more money, become a leader in your field. And IPFW makes it easy. With affordable tuition, night and weekend classes, and more than 20 graduate programs from business to education to public affairs and more. Become the master of your future. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. Your graduate university.
Getting plenty of advice, but not enough facts? Visit saveandinvest.org. No confusing advice, no sales pitch. Just unbiased information and tools to help you manage your money with confidence. Saveandinvest.org.
DeWitt Scott at the free throw line after being fouled by Michael Loney. 2 free throws, and the first one is no good. 28-21 is our score. 5 minutes and 20 seconds left until halftime. Charlie Washington, IPFW, scored the first 6 points of the game, but ever since then, momentum has belonged to South Dakota State. Second free throw by Scott is good. He now has 6 points.
Yes, it does, as we just saw the replay there. And that free throw by Scott, Mike, ended a 7-0 run by South Dakota State. It was 21-21.
Now, here come the Jackrabbits up the floor, going from right to left on your TV screen, wearing the traveling blue uniforms with gold trim. Passing. Ball tipped away, nearly stolen, but picked up by Callahan.
And the Dons are in that 1-3-1 we had talked about a little bit earlier, Mike, and so far in the early outset of it is giving South Dakota State some issues.
Ball tipped by Egerich, picked off by Carruthers, 3-on-1. Q off the glass and in. Transition basketball at its finest. Brothers with 2, and the lead is cut to 4, 28-24 with 4:35 to go in the half.
And a good decision that time by Q, just to take something sure. He could have went back and maybe tried to get, you know, a little fancy, but just a good, nice, strong layup.
Callahan fakes the 3. Pass intended, well, picked up by Frias. Now traveling called on South Dakota State. That is their 6th turnover. They had a good look at head coach Dane Fife, and now South Dakota State wants to call a 30-second timeout. So they will do that. And momentum starting to shift, Charlie, from blue and gold to blue and white.
Once again, that shot, the shot right before the free throws by DeWitt Scott, last shot by South Dakota State before that point was a well-contested three-point shot. Williams missed it because he had a hand in his face. We're not getting open shots. And here, this 1-3-1 defense as Quentin Carruthers comes down. He could pass and try to get it back. Good fake there. A nice, easy layup that time. But the 1-3-1 zone press, as it has in the past few games, worked quite well for the Dons here at home.
In case you didn't know it, it is retro night here at the Here They Gate Sports Center. And there you see Scott Nagy in his 12th year at South Dakota State. His overall record at the school, 234 wins, 115 defeats. South Dakota State in their 3rd year playing at the Division I level. Back to the action. Demetrius Johnson, top of the key. Egerich for 3. No, Burrows fighting for the rebound, and he may be caught for going over the back. First foul on Burrows. 4th team foul. And with under 4 minutes to go now in the first half, South Dakota State will try to improve on their 4-point lead. Callahan, Cadwell. Cross-court pass. Pass picked off by Burrows. And now we're going to have a reach-in foul called, I believe, on Kai Williams. That is his first, team 8th. When we come back, IPFW will be at the free throw line. 3:39 left in the first half. Our score, South Dakota State 28, IPFW 24. You are watching IPFW basketball on Saturday night right here on College 5 Sports.
Do you have everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best.
And make you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Warning, ruthless invaders are among us, and the future of fishing depends on stopping them dead. Only you can prevent invasive species from spreading before it's too late. Inspect, clean, and drain your boat, motor, and live wells, and properly dispose of invasive species on land, not back in the water. Stop these evil menaces from taking over and threatening our precious outdoor heritage. Inspect, clean, and drain. Do your part to halt the silent invasion.
At halftime, now before we talk about who our halftime guest is going to be, for the latest stats, scores, updates on IPFW athletics, head to their website. It's www.gomastodons.com.
And Mike, this is not a replay. It's a 70s night. Some of the folks coming back might have looked at the screen and thought, how old is this game?
Jerron Burrows at the line. He is 3 out of 4 thus far. Make it 4 out of 5. As he makes the front end of a 1-and-1. 28-25 is our score. Andy Kleinjohn checks back in for Jose Frias for South Dakota State. Each team has had a little bit of a run. IPFW, a 6-0 run to start the game. South Dakota State, a 7-0 run to snap a 21 all-time. Burrows has made 5 free throws in a row as the second one goes down.
And now the Dons are coming with the full court pressure. See if they can slow, and they have certainly slowed the Jackrabbits down.
The 2-2-1 UCLA press, but Engen kicks it back out top to Callahan. Plenty of time on the shot clock, 15 seconds, 3:18 on the first half game clock.
And this defense employed by Coach Fife and his staff has totally changed the momentum and slowed the Jackrabbits down tremendously.
Oh, all alone is Williams underneath. He banks it off and in, off the glass and in. Kai Williams now with a dozen points. 30-26, the Jackrabbit lead is 4.
And that is by far the best possession that the Jackrabbits have had against the Mastodons zone press. Great dunk that time.
Jerron Burrows on the pass from Johnson.
Great pass and setup that time by Demetrius Johnson, and great flush by the big man from the Bahamas.
The lead is 2 for South Dakota State, 30-28. 2.5 minutes left in a quickly moving first half. Callahan to Kleinjohn. Skip pass to Cadwell. Inside the arc, jumper on the way, no good. Demetrius Johnson posed on the board and he wants to run. Pass off the rim, intended for Burrows, and it'll go out of bounds. And let's see who they're going to call it. They're going to give it to IPFW?
Yeah, that ball was tipped. It was tipped in. That's how it did hit the rim. And great defense that time, taking the Jackrabbits out of rhythm on offense. Great defense on the jump shot.
DeWitt Scott gets the inbounds pass. Gets it back to Demetrius Johnson. 2:10 to go in a half. 30-28 our score. South Dakota State on top. Saturday night basketball from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Egerich double teamed as he tries to drive and he travels with the basketball. It is turnover number 5 for IPFW.
Not a great play that time, Mike, by Eggerichs, but someone from the Don should have slid down to the corner to give him a better passing angle. Not a great job to dribble down to the corner, get trapped, but one of his offensive players got to slide down and bail your postman out.
Bassett in for Engen for the Jackrabbits. Callahan looking for help. Gives it to Williams, back out to Cadwell. 17 in the shot clock. Into the corner, and stepping on the end line, I believe was Kleinjohn.
Once again, yes, Mike, great job on the 1-3-1. Not an easy defense to play because when that ball moves, you have to move. And when that ball goes to the corner, you have to get down to the middle and cover that inside.
Carruthers kicks it out to Johnson. Back at give and go. Eggerich for 3, and that's off the mark. Misses everything. Cadwell to Bassett. Now he'll hold up. Here's Callahan. Inside for Williams. He tries to dunk it, misses it, but draws the foul.
Mike, I'm sure Eggerich can make that basket, but he's doing some good things when he was catching that ball in the middle and then kicking it right back out. That's where he's going to be most effective, particularly this evening, because those 2 shots so far have not looked very good at all for the big fella.
Foul was on Demetrius Johnson, his first. Kai Williams shooting 2 and misses the first on the season. Williams, a 78% free throw shooter. South Dakota State now 0 for 3 at the stripe. Second one on the way, and that one is good. 31-28 is our score. Williams now with the baker's dozen, 13 points. Under a minute left here in the first half. Give and go, Burrows wants to drive on Williams, kick it back out. 15 in the shot clock. Burrows, ball knocked away, picked up by Bassett, who gives it to Williams. Jackrabbits want to run. Kleinjohn to Williams underneath, and he'll lay it in. Kai Williams doing a number on IPFW.
Well above his 10.7 or so average at 15 in the first half.
Shot clock off. IPFW will play for 1, trailing by 5, 33-28. South Dakota State not putting any pressure on at the moment. Down to 10 seconds now.
Yeah, ahead by 5. They're content with letting the clock run out.
Scott loses the ball, gives it to Carruthers. His 3 is no good. Burrows tries a shot, and he is fouled as the horn goes, so we're going to have 2 free throws. Matt Cadwell picks up his 2nd foul, team 9th. This is one of those oddities, Charlie. Nobody's going to be in the free throw lanes. The clock has run out, but Jerron Burrows will get 2 free throws, and these are 2 big free throws to close out the first half.
Well, great awareness that time by Burrows. Knew the clock was running down and had the frame of mind to get the rebound and shoot just about in the same motion, and happened to get pushed right in front of one of our referees this evening.
Well, he misses the first one. He has 1 more. He could cut the deficit to 4 if he can knock it down. It is in the air, and it bounces away. So a opportunity squandered at the free throw line. We have reached the intermission here at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center. IPFW trailing South Dakota State 33-28. When we come back, we will be visited by Director of Athletics Mark Pope to talk about a busy weekend here at IPFW, but that's when we return in a moment. You are watching IPFW basketball on College 5 Sports.
I guess I'm like most kids. I work hard, I go to class, and I want a degree that's going to mean something. I had offers from other universities, but I wanted the best out of my college choice. I wanted a great education and the campus life to go with it. Student housing, Division I sports, I found it all right here at IPFW. Hey, this is my university, my life, so it's got to feel right. I'm really glad I chose IPFW. I love it here. Go to their website.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Nothing gets my blood pumping more than a packed stadium, fans cheering, and the swish of a perfect basket. When I was diagnosed with colon cancer, it became an eerie silence. Early detection helped me, and it can help you too. Today, colon cancer can be treated with minimally invasive surgery, which will get you back in the game sooner than open surgery. I want you to meet my friend, Dr. Michael Harris, who's joined me in the fight.
Good one, Coach. Each year, more than 145,000 Americans will be diagnosed with colon cancer. It's the second largest cancer killer in the United States, but it doesn't have to be. Colon cancer is preventable, treatable, and if found early enough, beatable. If you are over 50 or have a family history of colon cancer, speak to your doctor, get screened, and understand your treatment options. Heads up, Coach.
Visit mybluestar.org and pass it on.
Salam.
Jam.
Salam. Ewa.
Rede.
Mir. Shanti.
We all want the same thing.
Peace.
And Rotary clubs
Sola.
are making it happen. Through international scholarships for young people to promote peace and understanding
La paix.
around the world. Rotary. Humanity in motion.
Pizza! Pizza! I must eat. Wait, what is this? Capsicum anum? Agaricus bisporus? Allium cepa?
Can we eat this?
Peppers, mushrooms, and onions. Eat your pizza, man.
Funny.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW. You see a dunk by Jerron Burrows. IPFW is going to need some more of those dunks in the second half as they trail South Dakota State 33-28. Our special guest is Director of Athletics, Mark Pope. And Mark, I asked you to come on because this has been a busy week here at IPFW, and it's been, I think, a very successful week in terms of participation by the community.
Yeah, I think it really has too, Mike, and I appreciate your having me on this afternoon or evening. It has been one of those weeks that you kind of point to and say, all right, we've got three very important events going on, certainly North Dakota State and South Dakota State, the two teams that will be joining us this year in the Mid-Con, and, of course, last night, Friday night, with Arnie's team taking on Ohio State. It's a lot of states, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And you know, we've spent a lot of time planning and working these things through, and sometimes they all work out the way you want them to, and sometimes they don't, but so far so good.
Let's talk briefly first about Thursday night, because Dane Fife's basketball team has struggled, and they'd lost 4 games in a row, and you're going from one extreme to the other. North Dakota State comes into town. They had beaten Marquette in Milwaukee earlier this year, and they were 14-6, the best independent team record-wise.
And best RPI, too.
Yeah, and we're down 12 at halftime. I don't know what Dane said to the team at halftime, but boy, did they play a great second half.
Well, I asked him that on Friday morning. I said, Coach, what did you say to the group when you had him in there at halftime? He says, well, I don't think I said much of anything. And I said, well, keep that speech. It's a very good one. But I think the difference was in the second half that we finally found the basket, and I think 60-some% in the second half shooting and 13 or 15 free throws makes all the difference in the world. And we were able to hold off a North Dakota State team that is very talented, very, very well coached. Tim Miles is a heck of a coach, and that was probably the signature win for us this year.
And that was Thursday night, and then last night, as you said, over 2,200 fans here at the Gates Center. Number 5 IPFW taking on number 10 Ohio State, and unfortunately the Dons saw their best ever season opening winning streak come to an end at 8, but give credit where credit is due. Ohio State's not a bad volleyball team.
Oh man, I got to tell you, Arnie had said that they had 5 guys who jump served very, very well, and they all did, and they served remarkably well. They had, I think, 11 aces on the night, and even when they served it in that it wasn't an ace, they had us all out of position, and we could not get into our attack mode whatsoever. And I think you saw the attack percentage just decrease from game 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, and they just took us right out of our game. So all credit to Ohio State. They came in here and played a remarkable game.
Well, again, a big, big crowd. Again, over 2,200, the largest crowd to see volleyball thus far here at the Gates Center. And then tonight, talk about what happened, how this developed for this game being played here at the Gates Center and the pregame festivities.
Well, sure. I mean, we had talked with the Coliseum quite a bit about our scheduling, as you can well guess, quite a bit in advance. And the Coliseum has a high school wrestling match scheduled all day long over there, and that's been booked for years. And so we tried to talk to South Dakota State to move this game to either Monday or Tuesday, and it just didn't fit into their schedule. And I understand that, because they're just like us this last year, playing an independent schedule and working things through and trying to, travel back and forth and not miss too many classes, and they just couldn't do it. So Jeff Tungate, the assistant coach, came to me about a year ago and said, Mark, what are your thoughts about playing it here? And I said, well, heck, I mean, we've never tried it before. Why don't we do that? And we built that into a season ticket holder appreciation night. Had Mose come out and serve dinner to everyone starting at 5:30 this afternoon, all season ticket holders, and kind of had some giveaways and some fun things and all that kind of stuff. And it really turned out to be a neat event. I think Mose ran a little short on food by the end of the evening. The line was kind of from where we're sitting all the way around to the aerobics room. So lessons learned. We didn't realize how many people would take advantage of it, but it's been a fun night.
And it's been a fun week because the community has gotten a chance to see what IPFW is all about.
Yes, that's exactly right. And I hope that will continue to grow. When you start to bring in groups and let them see what an incredibly high quality of volleyball is being played here, and then you see a guy like Dane who knew this was going to be a project, is working through it, and and it's amazing. As disappointed as we might be in the schedule record right now, there's a very good chance we could finish ahead of last year. We pull this one out tonight. We go to play New Jersey Tech, which is certainly a beatable team. We play North and South Dakota State back at their place. We have a chance with Pan Am and
Utah Valley State.
Utah Valley State coming in here the week of February 20th and 22nd, or I'm sorry, 22nd, 24th. All of those games are winnable for a team that really can pull it together right now. And as every coach in the 336 Division I schools will tell you, now's the time. November, December, you kind of play around with. January, you start to get serious. But right now, February is when you really want to be playing at your best. And I'll tell you right now, I think South Dakota State played a very good first half. We were a little bit expecting that the crowd would carry us, and that's not the way you win basketball games. So hopefully we can make a turnaround here. But if Dane can keep his charges going, I know he's experimenting with a lot of things. I thought you saw a very interesting 1-3-1 stretch defense, morph into a 2-3 defense, morph into a man-to-man, some new playing combinations going on right now. Dane's experimenting, and that's exactly what he ought to be doing as we get ready and prepare all of ourselves for conference play next year.
Well, we'll see if IPFW can do tonight what they did Thursday night against North Dakota State. That's come back after being down at halftime. We're going to give you credit for making this a very successful week here at IPFW.
Well, I can't take any of the credit. All of these ideas and all of these plans came from everybody in our department, from the staff to the coaches to all of the student athletes who worked so hard to make this a success. The student government came out with their old school retro shirts tonight. So, everyone is helping us to develop this. And I just kind of sit in the office and watch it all happen. It's not any of my doing. And
I tried.
Well, that's all right. To the groups like Channel 5 who have televised our games and give people who may not be able to make it out on a night like this a chance to see the team and get acquainted with what we're doing. I just think that's fabulous. So let's just hope that we can keep this thing moving. And as I've said 1,000 times before, Mike, as you know, baby steps, slow, solid progression, and that's where we want to go.
Thanks for coming on again.
Glad to be here.
We've been chatting with Athletic Director Mark Pope. We'll take a break. Again, it's halftime here at the Gates Center. IPFW trailing South Dakota State 33-28. We're back in a moment with more IPFW basketball right here on College 5 Sports.
I've gone away to a college where the class size is small.
I've gone away to a college with a beautiful campus.
I've gone away to a college that cares about diversity.
I've gone away to a college where I get to live in my own apartment instead of living in a dorm room.
I've gone away to a college that
really isn't that far away at all.
I go to IPFW.
IPFW.
I go to IPFW.
To find out more about college life at IPFW, go to our website. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Living with diabetes is the pits. When I wake up, the first thing I have to do is check my blood sugar. I just want to feel like all the other kids without pricking my fingers or injecting myself with insulin. Diabetes is rough on my whole family. When I was diagnosed, my mom couldn't stop crying. But imagine a cure.
Right now, as many as 3 million children and adults are living with type 1 diabetes. They will never outgrow it. Some will face complications like kidney failure, blindness, and heart disease. That's why the science the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation is supporting is so critical. Imagine a cure.
Congratulations on the promotion.
I hope you're saving the extra money.
You gotta put it in stocks.
If you want to get ahead.
No, bonds.
And CDs.
Way to go.
Bonds,
Flattering.
Stick it under the mattress.
Getting plenty of advice, but not enough facts? Visit saveandinvest.org. No confusing advice, no sales pitch. Just unbiased information and tools to help you manage your money with confidence. Saveandinvest.org.
While progress should never come to a halt, there are many places it should never come to at all. So we work locally with communities, businesses, and people like you to save precious places around the world, forever. I'm Paul Newman. Help the Nature Conservancy save the last great places.
Back here at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center, again halftime here between IPFW and South Dakota State. The Jackrabbits lead 33-28. A look at the numbers, Charlie Washington, South Dakota State hitting 4 more field goals. Each team had 26 attempts. 54% shooting for the visitors, 38% for the home team. Each team ironically had 9 3-point shots. Again, South Dakota State made twice as many. The Dons had 5 more free throws and 7 more attempts. Assists even at 7, rebounds 15-13 in favor of South Dakota State. Steals 3-2 also in favor of the visitors. What does IPFW have to do to erase this 5-point deficit in the second half?
Well, when the Jackrabbits took the big lead, the Dons did change the momentum, change the rhythm, got the Jackrabbits out of their rhythm, but they kind of settled in towards the last few minutes of that first half and kind of got back, and they're down by 5. The Dons have to control the tempo, take over this the rhythm of this basketball game.
Leading scorers, Kai Williams with 15 points, Matt Cadwell with 7, and Jose Frias with 5 for South Dakota State. Jerron Burrows with 7 points. DeWitt Scott, Justin Hawkins, 5 points apiece for IPFW. We do know that the Mastodons will be starting the save 5 that started the game. That's DeWitt Scott, Justin Hawkins, Chris Perkins, Tyler Best, and Jerron Burrows. The turnaround jumper there by Tyler Best early on. Look at a replay. Callahan banked one in there for the visitors. IPFW has got to hit their shots. As Mark Pope alluded to in our chat a few moments ago, in the second half Thursday night, the Mastodons hit 64% of their shots in the second half, and they need a duplicate performance here if they want to make it 6 home court wins in a row.
And it's looking like, the Jackrabbits are getting, once again, the good quality looks, and that makes a huge difference. Even if you miss the shot, if you're getting good looks, that's going to make the difference in the long run, and that's what's happening so far in this basketball game this evening.
Well, it looks like the original starting 5 for South Dakota State. That's Jose Frias, Garrett Callahan, Matt Cadwell, Kai Williams, and Michael Loney. They are on the floor as well. Mastodons will have the first possession of the second half. Tyler Best will inbound it from midcourt as we momentarily wait for one of the team managers, Joe Young, to get the basketballs off the floor. And here we go. Chris Perkins will bring it up over midcourt. Looks like South Dakota State. Oh, Jakari Johnson's on the floor, along with Scott. So Hawkins is not on the floor. Best is double teamed and looks for help. Perkins, in and out, no. Rebounded by Burrows. DeWitt Scott will launch a three. In and out, no. Williams with the rebound. Boy, 2 shots that went halfway down the cylinder, Charlie.
2 good looks that time. You can't, everything went well on that except for the final execution, made buckets.
Kai Williams from 3-point range, short. DeWitt Scott with the board. Let's see what IPFW can do this time down. Scott, top of the key. Here's Jakari Johnson, the sophomore out of Grand Rapids. Then they work it around. And losing the ball is Perkins. Scrum for it. Williams, Johnson, and Williams has it, and they call a timeout. With 18:58 left, it'll become a 60-second timeout, so we'll take a break. 33-28 is our score. And when we come back, South Dakota State will have the basketball. You're watching IPFW Mastodon Basketball on College 5 Sports.
Mom, Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows, communication or science or math. That's what life's all about, right? Learning so you can pass on knowledge to younger minds. Dad, Mom, I want to be a teacher.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Life is good, but with a master's degree from IPFW, it could be even better. You could land a promotion, earn more money, become a leader in your field. And IPFW makes it easy. With affordable tuition, night and weekend classes, and more than 20 graduate programs from business to education to public affairs and more. Become the master of your future. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. Your graduate university.
Back at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center, South Dakota State off the timeout. We'll put the ball into play. Cadwell on the right wing, watched by DeWitt Scott. Cross-court pass to Frias. 18 in the shot clock. Frias in the paint and misses the shot. He's going to go to the line. They're going to call Tyler Best for a foul. Tyler thought Frias walked. The first foul on the senior from West Lafayette. And it will send Jose Frias, a 55% free throw shooter, to the line. First one is no good.
And that possession, Mike, was gained because Williams, before the break, dove on the floor for the loose ball, and Jakari Johnson tried to pick it up.
Second free throw is good. Jose Frias now with 6 points. And it's 34-28. The Jackrabbit lead is 6. Chris Perkins wants to drive on Callahan. He's cut off. Best in the block. Wants to go double teamed. Perkins will bring it back out. 15 in the shot clock. Burrows way up top. He wants to go down low. Jakari Johnson with 6 on the shot clock has got to do something. Burrows, the pass is picked off. Outlet pass to Cadwell. And Jakari Johnson tried to block it, but he fouls Cadwell instead. First foul on Jakari. Second team foul.
That possession for the Dons, Mike, was not very fluid at all. Not good ball movement, no continuity, and it resulted in a turnover.
Cadwell is a 74% free throw shooter, and he knocks down the first one. He had 7 points in the first half. Now he has 8. Perkins out. Demetrius Johnson in for the Dons. Second free throw on the way. And that is good as well. You get a good look at Steve Nagy. I should say Scott Nagy, the South Dakota State coach. 36-28. The Jackrabbit lead is 8. Another near steal. DeWitt Scott has to hustle to pick it up. IPFW only committed 6 turnovers in the first half. Jakari for 3. In and out, no good. That's 3 shots here in the second half that have gone halfway down the cylinder.
And good box out that time by Loney.
Cadwell, and now we've got a whistle and a foul away from the basketball. Best picks up his second, team third. We've played nearly 2.5 minutes here in the second half. Cadwell wants to drive on Scott. Pull-up jumper, no. Jakari Johnson with the rebound. IPFW on the run. Well, they hold up. And we got a whistle underneath. Again, away from the basketball. And Michael Loney has just picked up his 3rd personal foul. First team foul here in the second half. And that will bring in Thomas Bassett. Demetrius Johnson will inbound the basketball. IPFW needs to score on this possession, Charlie.
Yes, they do. They have not gotten off the snide at this half yet, so it's a very important possession.
Now, the best will pull the trigger instead of Demetrius Johnson. Momentary delay as Jose Frias had to pick something up at the other end. DeWitt Scott gets the inbounds pass. Now they bring it back out to Demetrius Johnson. Looks like South Dakota State still in a man-to-man defense. He's best in the block double team. Burrows off the glass and in.
Good possession that time. Good ball movement, swung the ball from side to side, got some movement. If you make a defense move, you will be able to find a hole in that defense sooner or later.
Burrows with 9 points. The lead cut to 6, 36-30. 16:40 to go here in the second half. Frias wants to drive on Jakari Johnson and Best. Shot no good. Jakari with the board. Gives it to Demetrius Johnson. Meach is going to take it in. Count the bucket, and he gets the foul as well. Big drive by Demetrius Johnson.
Great job. And that's the advantage, Micah, having a big, strong, 6'4", powerful point guard, being able to drive the ball down and take the contact and make the bucket.
Foul was on Callahan, his second. Maybe this will be the catalyst that IPFW needs. Demetrius Johnson knocks down the free throw, the conventional 3-point play. And now it's a 3-point game, 36-33 with 16:22 to go. Kai Williams, inside feed. Bassett is fouled as he goes up. Jakari Johnson will get called for the foul, I believe. He now has 2 personals. First half, IPFW committed 5 fouls. They've already committed 4 fouls, and we played less than 4 minutes of the second half. Bassett on the year as he misses the first is just a 25% free throw shooter.
And Mike, on that first free throw, he looked every bit of it.
Well, you may hear in the background fans saying block out, block out. Second one is good, though.
He's 50 so far tonight.
37-33. The lead is 4 for the visitors from Brookings, I should say, South Dakota. Burrows with 9 points, wants to drive on Williams. They reverse it. Best down low, banks it off the glass and in.
That was a lot of contact. Great composure that time. A lot of contact.
Tyler Best with 6. The lead down to 2, 37-35. Now we have a whistle.
Bassett lost his shoes.
And that will lead us into a media timeout. 15:45 left. It is South Dakota State 37, IPFW 35. We'll take a break. You're watching IPFW basketball on College 5 Sports.
everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best. And make you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Salam.
Jam.
Salam. Ewa.
Hey there. Apa pa?
Mir. Shanti.
Niep Changyok di.
We all want the same thing.
Peace.
And Rotary clubs
Sola.
are making it happen.
Happy.
Through international scholarships for young people to promote peace and understanding
La paix.
around the world.
Señales de high.
Rotary. Humanity in motion.
Back at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center, you see ball movement by IPFW. Demetrius Johnson will kick it off underneath to Tyler Best. And as you said, Charlie Washington, a lot of body contact, but no foul called.
Initially, he was pushed in the back before he even caught the basketball. He's pushed in the back, and then he got hit pretty hard on the layup. Should have been an and one.
Thus far in the second half, South Dakota State 0 for 3 from the floor. IPFW 3 of 6. Jackrabbits have hit 4 out of 6 free throws, however. Cadwell with the basketball, rubs off a Bassett pick. Gets it back to Bassett. Two-man game, 12 on the shot clock. Callahan. Ball knocked away by Jakari Johnson, but picked up by Bassett. 5 on the shot clock. Bassett on Best, and he knocks it home. Bassett with 3. The lead is 4. Best looking for Scott, can't find him, gets it to Demetrius Johnson instead. Meach, turn around, baseline jumper, doesn't hit the shot, but he draws the foul, and he will shoot 2. And the foul is going to be on Callahan, his 3rd, team 3rd.
That's a great matchup for Demetrius Johnson. It does a lot of things. First of all, it's a very positive advantage for the Mastodons, but it also makes Callahan work very hard, so he's a little spent on the offensive end.
Demetrius Johnson, the transfer from Kent State University, makes the first free throw. He is 2 for 2 at the stripe, has a field goal as well for 4 points. He can draw the Dons to within 2 if he can hit this next free throw.
Callahan replaced by Casey. If they keep that matchup, that's still to the advantage of Demetrius Johnson, the 6-foot Casey.
2-point game as we reach the 15-minute mark. And a player control foul called on.
I think Bassett.
42, Thomas Bassett, his 2nd.
An illegal screen.
Well, let's see what IPFW can do. They're down by 2.
I'd look at Johnson going into the post or backing Casey down.
Here's Jakari to Demetrius. Inside the arc, the jumper is no good. Williams tips it to Casey, who's in the game. Mackenzie Casey will pass it, give and go. Cadwell, follow-away jumper, no good. Bassett with the offensive board. Fresh, they say it did not hit the rim, so the shot clock is still winding down. Frias on Jakari Johnson. 8 in the shot clock. Left-hand shot off the rim, no good. Best with the board. His foul by Bassett.
Bassett's working quite hard, doing some intangible things for the Jackrabbits.
Well, Bassett becomes the 3rd Jackrabbit to pick up his 3rd foul. Callahan with 3, Bassett 3, Michael Loney with 3. 5 team fouls in the second half. Frias out. Mark Engen, 6'10", the tallest player for either team on the floor. And IPFW with a chance to tie or possibly take the lead.
If it doesn't take the Dons too much out of their normal offense, I would look at posting Jakari Johnson against a smaller Casey.
How about Jerron Burrows picking it off the glass?
Or going Burrows against a bigger player. How about that?
Burrows now in double figures. We're tied at 39. Casey. To Kleinjohn, who's in the ball game. Kai Williams wants to, oh, an elbow, no call. Bank shot, no good. Tap, no good. Engen fighting, and Demetrius Johnson with the ball. Don's on the run. Jakari Johnson, oh! Are they going to count it? Are they not going to count it?
No, it was the offensive man, so they will not count it because it was an offensive man.
But there will be 2 free throws coming, I believe. They're going to call the foul on Engen. His first, team 6th. Jakari Johnson will shoot 2. Jakari is a 74% free throw shooter. Came in averaging 7.5 points a game. He has yet to hit the book tonight, however. Until right now.
And I don't think that basket was going to fall in, but for your offensive player, you got to keep your hands off that rim if you have a chance to potentially get a 3-point play out of it.
First time in a long time that IPFW has had the lead, 40-39, their first lead of the second half. Second free throw, no good. Dons had made their first 4 freebies in the second half. Kai Williams just drives, finger rolls it up and in. And now IPFW just commits the ultimate turnover on the inbounds pass. That will not make Dane Fife happy.
It can't. That's one you learn early in Y ball. Stay behind that line.
Mackenzie Casey will get it in bounds. There's Cadwell, wants to drive on Scott. Looks like IPF, man-to-man defense. Thought for a moment they went back into the zone. Under 13 minutes to go. South Dakota State up 1, 41-40. Pass intended for Kleinjohn. Off his hands. Good play by Jakari Johnson. Forces the turnover.
Very good job.
10 turnovers now on South Dakota State. Joko Egerich checks in for Tyler Best. 12:44 to go. It's South Dakota State 41, IPFW 40. Mastodons moving from right to left on your TV screen. Ooh, Demetrius almost walked with the basketball. With the Johnson and Johnson combination. Burrows in the block. Kicks it out. Jakari. Oh, they're going to call an offensive foul on Jakari Johnson. His third.
Just a little bit too much that time by Jakari. He drove and drew the defense, and actually Demetrius Johnson was wide open. So just as you stated a moment ago, it should have been Johnson and Johnson.
Instead, it's South Dakota State basketball up by 1. Kleinjohn being hounded by Jakari Johnson. Here's Casey. A 2-man game with Kai Williams. Cadwell loses it to Scott, who has the presence of mind to not move his feet and passes it to Jakari Johnson. That brings some cheers from this crowd. This crowd would love to cheer some more. Meach lets it fly and doesn't hit it, but it's knocked out of bounds by South Dakota State as Kleinjohn and Engen fought over it. We've got a timeout on the floor. 11:46 to go. Our score, the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State 41, the Mastodons of IPFW 40. You're watching IPFW basketball on College 5 Sports.
What's it like when you hear your calling? Will you remember where you were? Will you ignore it? Or will you listen? What if it calls you to go halfway around the world? To share your skills? To serve people you've never met? To do things you never thought you could? What will you do when you hear your calling? Peace Corps, life is calling. How far will you go?
Bounce pass into Jerron Burroughs. Strong move to the basket, Charlie Washington.
Good execution. Almost could have been a foul that time on Williams. Be nice to get him with 4.
Williams leading IPFW in scoring with 11 points. Demetrius Johnson will inbound the ball underneath his own basket. It's a big possession for the Mastodons, trailing by 1 with under 12 minutes to go.
Yes, it is. The action's been kind of slow, but very close game and big possession, each one.
Curry Johnson inside for Burroughs. Double team, triple team, but he banks it off the glass and in anyway.
Great body control that time. A little bit underneath the basket, but he arched his back and got it up high off the glass. Great job that time by Burroughs.
The home team retakes the lead 42-41. Let's see what South Dakota State does to respond. Casey inside the arc, in and out, no good. Jakari Johnson with the board to Demetrius Johnson. Meach, he's going to take it all the way himself, left-handed up and in.
Great job. I saw that as an advantage for the Dons a few moments ago, and he's taking that advantage. He's quicker, bigger, stronger. Great job.
And he has 7 points. The lead up to 3, 44-41, under 11 minutes to go. Casey, top of the key, watched by Demetrius Johnson. Loney back on the floor. Cadwell is fouled as he unloads the shot. Doesn't hit it, but he will shoot 2. Fouls on Jelko Egerich, his first, team 6th. 10:32 left. A little bit of concern on Scott Nagy's face. Matt Cadwell at the free throw line, and he knocks down the first of 2. Cadwell, 10 points, make it 11. He's 4 for 4 from the free throw line. The IPFW lead is now cut to 1, 44-43. Jakari Johnson looking for a teammate in white. Finds Egerich. Demetrius, give and go to Burroughs. No, the bucket will not count. They're going to say that Burroughs was fouled before he went into the act of shooting. Loney has just picked up personal foul number 4. Team foul number 7, however, so free throws will come.
Good strong move that time by Burroughs, even though it didn't count.
Well, Jerron Burroughs has really improved as the season has gone along. He's 5 of 8 at the foul line. Make it 6 of 9 as the first one drops through.
And you can just tell, Mike, from the beginning of the season to right now, the confidence that he plays with.
Well, last Saturday night at Utah Valley State, he had 16 points and 7 rebounds. He had 13 points and 7 boards Thursday night. And he has just knocked down his second free throw there. He now has 15 points and 4 boards here tonight. 3-point lead for the Mastodons as we near the midway mark of the second half, 46-43. Casey to Kleinjohn on the right wing. Back to Casey. He'll launch a 3-ball and knock it down. Mackenzie Casey ties the game at 46. His first points of the night.
Now we have to take advantage of him on a defensive end.
Jackrabbits 5 of 11 from beyond the arc. Demetrius Johnson wants to back down Casey. He has a size advantage. Nice move. The shot does not go, but he draws the foul, does Demetrius Johnson. It's a good move there, Charlie. When you have a size advantage, Casey picks up his first.
Great move. Talked about it a few moments ago. Great move, sending him down to the post, particularly if it doesn't take you too much out of your offense just to concentrate on it, because sometimes teams look at size advantages and they concentrate so much on it, they get away from their regular offense.
Demetrius Johnson knocks down the first free throw. He now has 8 points. It is 47-46. IPFW with the lead. One more free throw coming. Again, you see the good, strong post move. And Demetrius Johnson has made his 5th free throw in a row. Dons by a deuce with 9:25 to go. Cadwell wants to drive inside. They're going to call a block on Scott. Yes, they are. Crowd thought it might be a charge on Cadwell. Dave Gentile, the down official, made the call. Crowd not happy. DeWitt Scott now with 2 personals. 17 fouls, and Matt Cadwell, who was 4 of 4 at the line.
Quite a bit of contact, and that's the toughest call for any referee to make at any level of basketball. And it did look like DeWitt was a little late.
Let's take a look for ourselves.
Yes, he was moving.
Excuse me. First free throw is good. Now Cadwell will try to tie it up at 48, and he does. Cadwell is perfect at the line tonight, 6 of 6. He now has 13 points. He's averaging 13 and a half. 9:10 to go here in the second half at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center. Egorich will try a 3-ball. Yes! Željko from Croatia.
Third time's a charm. He looked bad on his first 2, and the third one looked smooth.
IPFW up by 3. Klein John give and go to Kai Williams. Williams has 17 points. 8:43 to go. 15 in the shot clock. Klein John, a little 2-man game. Can't find Williams. Kicks it back out to Casey. 8 on the shot clock now. And Demetrius Johnson nearly stole it. Loose ball, and it's picked up by Egorich. Good team defense by IPFW.
Great job that time by Johnson.
Demetrius Johnson walking the ball up over midcourt. Big possession for IPFW. They could extend their lead. DeWitt Scott. Back out to Egorich. Another 3-ball. Yes! Željko. Back-to-back trays. 54-48. Under 8 minutes to go.
And just like that, Mike, he's shooting 50% from 3-point land.
And the crowd back into it. Bassett wants to drive on Z. Cut off ball, tipped away, but picked up by Casey. 15 on the shot clock. Cadwell will launch a long one. No good. Rebounded by Jakari Johnson. He's done a nice job on the boards in the second half.
Yeah, some great defensive pressure that time on the 3-point shot.
Demetrius Johnson says, let's hold it up, bring Z down the floor, and run the motion offense. Scott off the Z pick. Give and go. Another 3-ball. No. Burrows on the putback, and he's blacked. Picks it up again. Scott for 3. No. Bassett with the rebound. Couple of good looks, but no basket for IPFW.
Yes, good looks.
Here comes South Dakota State. Casey wants to go baseline. And timeout is called from the bench with 6:56 to go. It is a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. South Dakota State now has 2 timeouts left, a full and a 30. IPFW has 4 timeouts, Charlie, a full and 3 30s. And the back-to-back threes from Željko Egorich, right now the difference, 54-48 Dons. You see the replay on one of them.
He caught the ball right there in great rhythm, and that's a lot of shooting. It's all about rhythm. You hear a lot about rhythm shooters, and as bad as he looked on his first 2 3-pointers, he looked that good on the 2 after that, and then he missed one from a 50% shooter. Now he's a 40% 3-point shooter tonight from 3-point land.
He played just over 13 minutes of the second half. South Dakota State has just 3 field goals in the second half. Here we go. Callahan, watched by Johnson. To Frias, who's back on the floor. 15 on the shot clock. Cadwell should say to Williams. Justin Hawkins back on the floor for IPFW. Loney playing with 4 fouls on the floor for South Dakota State. As the shot clock goes off, it hits the scoreboard, or clock I should say. And IPFW plays good D. We've got timeout on the floor. 6:32 to go. Mastodons 54, Jackrabbits 48. You're watching IPFW basketball on College 5 Sports.
Pizza! I must eat. Wait, what is this? Capsicum annum? Agaricus bisporus? Allium cepa?
Can we eat this?
Peppers, mushrooms, and onions. Eat your pizza, man.
Funny.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Parents, there's something you can do to protect your kids from drugs and alcohol. Combine ground beef with egg, tomato sauce, breadcrumbs, and spices. Bake in an oven-safe pan at 350 for 50 minutes. Serve hot.
This is Jamie Lee Curtis. Children who eat dinner with their families are less likely to smoke, drink, or use drugs. So, have dinner together every day.
Delicious.
A message from CASA, the National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse at Columbia University.
Back here at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center, Jocko Edrich. We saw him make 1 3 a moment ago, and there's the second one. And those 2 threes have given IPFW a 54-48 lead. Charlie in the second half, the Dons 8 of 16 from the floor. South Dakota State just 3 of 12.
And multiple factors could be involved there, Mike, but the biggest thing I see is the looks. IPFW's looks are a lot clearer, and they're putting much more pressure on the Jackrabbits' outside shots.
Demetrius Johnson in the lane. Best down low. Reverse layup is good. Best from Demetrius Johnson. Tyler now with 8 points, and IPFW up 56-48 as we near the 6-minute mark.
Great pass by Johnson and great regrouping that time by Best. He's a very good up and under player who uses the rim very well against his defender.
Bassett hands it off to Frias. 15 on the shot clock. Here's Cadwell. To Callahan on the right wing. 10 on the shot clock. Give and go. The ball is knocked away for a moment by Hawkins, and now we got a reach-in foul on Hawk. Trying to get the ball away from Bassett. For Justin Hawkins, that is personal foul number 2. Team foul number 8, Bassett. Again, we said he was just a 25% free throw shooter coming in. He's 1 of 2 tonight. Looking for point number 4. 5:39 to go. Free throw is in the air, and it is no good. Best with the board.
So now he's 1 for 3, 33%, still above his season average.
Demetrius Johnson will bring it over midcourt. 5.5 minutes to go. Don's up by 8. Best trying to get free of Bassett in the low block. DeWitt Scott. Demetrius Johnson, who I think has made the big difference here in the second half in his floor leadership.
You're exactly right.
Meach has the ball knocked away, but it's picked up by Jakari. Give and go to DeWitt. DeWitt, little baseline jumper, no. Rebounded by Frias, and here come the Jackrabbits with 5 minutes to go, trailing 56-48. Cadwell, cut off by Jakari. Callahan boots it out. 3-pointer, no good. Fight for the rebound, Frias gets it. Fresh 35 for South Dakota State.
And that was the best look that the Jackrabbits have had this half. Fortunately for the Dons, they missed it. Unfortunately, they got the offensive rebound.
Callahan to Kai Williams. Williams wants to drive on Hawkins, cut off. 13 on the shot clock, and now 30-second timeout called by South Dakota State. Again, we'll keep it right here. Just 4:24 left, and now the Jackrabbits, Charlie, have just 1 timeout left.
Well, they've been using them. They burned a couple on loose balls where you dive on the floor and grab the loose ball and you call a timeout. It's a great play at that moment. It gives your team possession. But right now, some of those earlier plays have left you, like you said, short on timeouts.
Boy, for information on joining the Royal Dons Club, you can write to them at 2101 East Coliseum Boulevard, Fort Wayne, Indiana 46805. You can go on the IPFW Athletic website. Again, it's www.gomastodons.com. Or you can give them a call at 260-481-6894. Again, the Royal Dons Club, the booster organization for IPFW Athletics. Well, South Dakota State inbounds it with 12 on the shot clock. trailing 56-48.
Excuse me, Mike. It looks like the Dons have gone back to that 1-3-1 just to throw a little wrench in the mix.
Williams from way downtown, no good. Jakari Johnson with another rebound. He now has 6. We're nearing the 4-minute mark. IPFW with an 8-point lead in the basketball.
And Williams, who had 15 in the first half, has been relatively quiet, actually more than relatively quiet, only 2 here in the second half.
Best off the glass and in.
Once again, Tyler Best using that rim, the up and under part of his game, using the rim as an extra defender against the defender so that they cannot get to that shot block.
He has 10, the lead is 10. Frias misses the shot, put back by Maloney is no good, put back again is no good. Fighting underneath, and Burrows posed on the board. 3 cracks at it for South Dakota State. They were unsuccessful each time. 3:25 to go, 58-48 our score. Mastodons looking to make it 6 wins in a row at home. Demetrius Johnson to Scott, 3 ball on the way, yes! DeWitt Scott, his second try. 61-48 with 3:05 to go. Fans sensing a possible Mastodon victory. Kai Williams driving on Burrows. Knocks one down. And quickly, South Dakota State calls their final timeout. It's a 60, so we'll take a break as well. 2:54 to go. Mastodon 61, Jackrabbits 50. You're watching IPFW basketball on College 5 Sports.
I guess unlike most kids, I work hard, I go to class, and I want a degree that's going to mean something. I had offers from other universities, but I wanted the best out of my college choice. I wanted a great education and the campus life to go with it. Student housing, Division I sports, I found it all right here at IPFW. Hey, this is my university, my life, so it's got to feel right. I'm really glad I chose IPFW. I love it here. Go to their website.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
A college education should be more than textbooks and classroom learning. On this month's IPFW Up Close, we're going to focus on 2 very different but important aspects of a student's education. We'll talk with Professor Frank Balladino about his ongoing research with endangered leatherback turtles in Costa Rica. And we'll go in a completely different direction to get the inside scoop on intramural sports programs on campus and find out why they're so popular. Join me for IPFW Up Close Sundays at noon on CATV 5.
Night college basketball from the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here at IPFW. A big 3 knocked down there by DeWitt Scott.
He hasn't had many looks tonight, but great open shot that time, and he nailed it.
IPFW will inbound the ball. South Dakota State is out of timeouts. It will be the under 4 media timeout, but that is the only other time outside of committing fouls that the Jackrabbits can stop the clock. 2:42 and counting. 61-50, IPFW on top. Jakari Johnson, and now a whistle. Foul away from the ball.
Got the 6 foot Casey trying to guard in the post, the athletic 6'7" Burrows.
Well, we now have that final media timeout, 2:36 left. Don't go anywhere, you never know what can happen. Right now, IPFW in the driver's seat, leading South Dakota State 61-50. Back in a moment with more IPFW basketball on College 5 Sports.
Diabetes is a killer. After I was diagnosed, I didn't feel sick, so I didn't listen to my doctor. Then it struck. I had a heart attack, then a stroke, and I was only 49.
People with diabetes are 2 to 4 times more likely to suffer a stroke than people without diabetes. And many who survive are severely disabled.
Don't let diabetes destroy your life.
Learn how to reduce your risk of stroke. Call for your free diabetes survival guide.
Warning, ruthless invaders are among us, and the future of fishing depends on stopping them dead. Only you can prevent invasive species from spreading before it's too late. Inspect, clean, and drain your boat, motor, and live wells, and properly dispose of invasive species on land, not back in the water. Stop these evil menaces from taking over and threatening our precious outdoor heritage. Inspect, clean, and drain. Do your part to halt the silent invasion.
2 minutes, 36 seconds left here at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here in Fort Wayne. 61-50 our score. IPFW leading South Dakota State. Jerron Burrows, 15-point night. That's leading the Dons. Misses the front end of a one-on-one. So there is still hope for the Jackrabbits, but they've got to score often. Scott, or I should say a three-point shot by Casey is no good. Scott with the rebound, but throws it away. Give and go. Scott on best off the glass and in.
Good left hand layup that time by Casey.
Casey, I should say.
And they're bringing pressure.
2:05 to go. Now DeWitt Scott has the ball. And he is fouled. Took a while for Dave Gentile to blow the whistle. Cadwell picks up his third foul. That is the 10th team foul. Double bonus situation for the Mastodons with 2:03 left. DeWitt Scott, a 73% free throw shooter who was 1 for 2 tonight. We'll try to put a couple of nails in the coffin, so to speak. DeWitt had 15 points in the win over North Dakota State Thursday night, and he misses the first. Well, coming out of the last timeout, IPFW was 8 of 9 from the free throw line in the second half, but they've missed 2 in a row. Now this becomes a big one for Scott. He could get the lead back into double digits, and he does. 62-52. Casey will pick up the ball. And here we go, the final 2 minutes from Fort Wayne. Cadwell for three, no good. Rebounded by Jakari Johnson to Demetrius Johnson.
He missed that shot, Mike, but still too good a look.
Michi being hounded by Mackenzie Casey. To Tyler Best, back to, and now quickly a foul called. And it's on Andy Kleinjohn, his second. And now Charlie Washington, it's a matter, can IPFW hit the free throws down the stretch? Because you know South Dakota State, out of timeouts, has to foul.
And each time with the double bonus, it's going to be 2 cracks at it, no more 1-and-1.
IPFW as a team tonight, 15 of 23 at the stripe. First one by Best is good. Tyler now with 11 points. He had 4 points in the first half. He has 7 points in the second half, and all Scott Nagy can do is look and wonder. Second free throw is in and out. Rebounded by Garrett Callahan. 1:36 to go. It's an 11-point Mastodon lead. Casey, watched by Demetrius Johnson, to Kleinjohn. He'll launch a 3 ball. No good. Rebounded by DeWitt Scott to Demetrius Johnson. Meach is fouled at midcourt by Casey. Third personal on Mackenzie Casey. Charlie, this might be the longest 81 seconds in some time here at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center.
I think it's going to be, Mike, because what you have here, no timeouts. You're going to have a lot of fouling, a lot of parading, relay racing to the free throw line for the Dons, and hopefully they can keep nailing them down.
Demetrius Johnson, who is 5 of 5 tonight at the stripe, will shoot 2. First one is good. He is now in double figures with 10 points. He also has 4 rebounds and 6 assists. And he calmly knocks the second one down as well.
And he's been the catalyst to this, I'm going to say, victory this evening, Mike.
Yeah, we still got 75 seconds. Cadwell, left-hand shot, no good. Scott pulls down the board to Demetrius Johnson. He's the guy that IPFW wants to have the ball in his hands, and Cadwell fouls Best. That was almost an intentional foul. For Matt Cadwell, he now has 4 fouls. 1:03 left. Mastodon 65, Jackrabbits 52, and Tyler Best will go to the foul line and shoot 2.
Trying to add to this festive evening, Mike, once again. 70s night, IPFW students doing a great job participating in that. Also, coaches for Cancer Night, if you noticed, the coaches all have on their sneakers, and that's all over the country.
I was hoping you'd tell our listeners, our viewers about that.
Yes, very profitable. It's actually non-profit, and the profits will go for a great cause that all the coaches are doing that. Once again, Coaches Against Cancer, where the coaches all over the country wear sneakers today.
Best makes both at the foul line. Kai Williams from downtown, no good. Demetrius Johnson with the board. And he has fouled with 51.8 seconds to go. And the foul is going to be on Callahan, his fourth. And Demetrius Johnson heading to the line, and fans on their feet here at the Gate Center. It has been a good weekend for IPFW athletics. We talked with athletic director Mark Pope at halftime. The big come-from-behind win Thursday night against North Dakota State, as Demetrius Johnson knocks down the first of two free throws. Big crowd here last night, almost 2,300 to see IPFW unfortunately lose to Ohio State, 3-1. Johnson misses, but Burrows with the offensive board, and then he has the ball taken away. Fight for it, I should say. Goes out of bounds, and it'll go to South Dakota State. 45 ticks of the clock left. 68-52. IPFW on top.
And great to see Jakari Johnson dive on the floor. I got on him a little bit earlier about a possession, but Jakari, great job, even at this point of the game, hustling still.
Callahan, jumper off the rim, no good. Best with the board to Demetrius Johnson, and 30 seconds left. And let's see if South Dakota State just backs it up. Shot clock is off, so IPFW doesn't even have to take a shot. Fans on their feet here at the Gate Center. IPFW about to win their sixth straight game at home here in 2006-2007. 11, 10, 9. You can see the clock moving downward on the lower right-hand corner of your screen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's it. The horn goes off, and this game is in the books. Final score tonight, IPFW 68, South Dakota State 52. Players and coaches greeting each other at midcourt, congratulating each other on the effort. We will take a break. More to come here on IPFW basketball. When we come back, a recap, and we'll also talk with Associate Head Coach Jeff Tungate. Again, the Dons win 68-52. You're watching IPFW basketball on College 5 Sports.
You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales, you're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Congratulations on the promotion.
I hope you're saving the extra money.
You gotta put it in stocks.
If you want to get ahead.
No, buns.
And CDs.
Way to go. Get it balanced.
Stick it under the mattress.
Getting plenty of advice, but not enough facts? Visit saveandinvest.org. No confusing advice, no sales pitch. Just unbiased information and tools to help you manage your money with confidence. Saveandinvest.org.
Life is good, but with a master's degree from IPFW, it could be even better. You could land a promotion, earn more money, become a leader in your field. And IPFW makes it easy. With affordable tuition, night and weekend classes, and more than 20 graduate programs from business to education to public affairs and more. Become the master of your future. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. Your graduate university.
Each year, more than 145,000 Americans will be diagnosed with colon cancer. It's the second largest cancer killer in the United States, but it doesn't have to be. Colon cancer is preventable, treatable, and if found early enough, beatable. If you are over 50 or have a family history of colon cancer, speak to your doctor, get screened, and understand your treatment options. Heads up, Coach.
Visit mybluestar.org and pass it on.
Welcome back, everybody, to a joyous Hilliard Gate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW. Mastodons prevailed tonight over South Dakota State by a final score of 68-52. We are joined by Associate Head Coach Jeff Tungate. And Jeff, first and foremost, a great atmosphere to play basketball here tonight.
I tell you what, this was a lot of fun. We were talking about before the game, there's just a real buzz in the air. You could come in the gym, you smelled the popcorn, you had the crowd here. The students were great. I mean, we had unbelievable student support tonight. I can't say enough about the other athletic teams here on campus and the students that came out tonight. I mean, that really carried us down the stretch. I think this is a game, without their support, with 10 minutes to go, we probably don't win. And that was a big key down the stretch for us.
Prior to Thursday night, IPFW, when trailing at halftime this season, was 0-15. Thursday night, the team erased a 12-point halftime deficit against North Dakota State. And tonight, you turn around and come back from a 5-point deficit against South Dakota State, who I think you may agree with me, they played better for most of the game than a team that only had 5 wins coming in.
Yeah, there's no question. They're a very well-coached team. I mean, Scott Nagy does a great job with that program. And you know, we knew it was going to be a tough game, and you know, you have to win at home. I mean, that's part of it. That as we're getting ready for the conference next year in the Mid-Con and playing in the Independent League schedule this year, you have to win your home games. And we knew it was going to be a tough game, but I thought our guys, especially the last 10, 12 minutes of the game, really played some great defense and really limited their quality shots. I thought the first half they got way too many open looks. Second half we did a really good job defensively. What was said in the locker room at halftime? You know, I mean, basically the stuff that you would defend. I mean, defend and rebound. They shot 54, 55%, something like that from the first half from the floor. May have been higher than that, but it's just we've got to play defense. I mean, our team, we weren't making shots, and unfortunately, when our team's not making shots, we don't defend. And good teams play defense whether the shot's going in or not. If you can, Jeff, talk briefly about, first of all, the play of Jerron Burrows, especially in the first half, because he carried the team offensively, and then talk about the play of Demetrius Johnson running the show in the second half. Well, both of those guys, they're not afraid to attack the basket, and I think that's a big key. You know, Jerron, he's not afraid to get down low and attack the rim and finish around the basket, and Demetrius isn't afraid to make plays. You know, I thought he did a really good job, Demetrius, in the second half of making safe plays, not great plays. Sometimes he has a tendency of trying to thread a needle, making a great play, but he just made the safe, solid plays in the second half, took care of the basketball, and those two guys make our offense go, because it's going to open up our shooters for shots once those guys are attacking the rim. Well, last year the team was 10-18 for the season. With this win tonight, you're now 9-15, but you've won 2 in a row. And now you've got a week to prepare for the next opponent, a team you've already defeated once this year, New Jersey Tech. What might be the emphasis in practice this coming week? It's the same as it's been the last couple weeks. Defend, 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 defend. I mean, we've got to put together 40 good minutes of defense for us to win on the road, and right now we're putting together about 20 good minutes of defense. And you know, it's going to be tough to go on the road and spot a team 5-10 points and come back and win. We've got to be able to defend in the first half. Well, Jeff, I appreciate you giving our viewers a little bit of time. Again, congratulations on a big come-from-behind win, 2 in a row, and enjoy the victory, and we'll see what happens down the road. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. We've been chatting with Associate Head Coach Jeff Tungate. As you look at some of the numbers in the game tonight, IPFW 21 of 46 in the floor for 55%. South Dakota State 19 of 50 from the floor, 50 from the floor. 3-point shots. Each team made 5 as I'm rejoined by Charlie Washington. Jackrabbits took 4 more 3-point shots than the Dons. Big difference at the free throw line, Charlie. 21 of 31 for the home team, only 9 of 15 for the visitors. Right, it's not a great percentage, but the fact that 31 versus the 15 is the big key there. Assists 15-9 in favor of IPFW. Rebounds 33-26, a rare time this year where IPFW has out-rebounded their opponent. Steals, South Dakota State 6-4, but as Jeff Tungate said, defensively the team really clamped down in the second half, especially I thought on Kai Williams. You commented earlier, Williams had 15 points in the second half, held to just 2 field goals, and those came late in the second half. Yeah, well, as soon as I said that, made that statement, he turned around and made a jump shot, and I was like, whoa, maybe I shouldn't have said anything. But that was his last one, 15 the first half, only 4 in the second half. Great job that time. He was certainly the catalyst for them in the first half. You see the scoring leaders for South Dakota State, Kai Williams with 19 points, Cadwell with 13, and Jose Frias with 6. For IPFW, Jerron Burrows with 15, Tyler Best with 13, and Demetrius Johnson with 12. Great balance. Real quickly, some other numbers.
Points in the paint, 26-20 in favor of the Dons. Points off turnovers, 12-9 in favor of the Dons. Turnovers, 12 apiece. Second chance points even at 2. But IPFW just put it together, coming from behind for the second game in a row.
Well, they're playing well. It seems that people are settling into their roles, and as we talked about, Burrows has really settled in, doing a great job. Demetrius Johnson came off the bench and just was certainly the big catalyst in that second half. But the big thing that I see, the Dons are settling in. They get started most of the time with Tyler Bass controlling the inside, getting some good baskets, and he got some good baskets in the second half as well. And Demetrius Johnson played great once again. And DeWitt Scott came along in the second half and got some late points.
Well, you see the players signing autographs for the fans. I want to remind you that the next telecast of IPFW basketball will come your way on February 22nd when Utah Valley State, which defeated IPFW out in Utah a week ago tonight, 96-66 will come to town. That'll be a MyTV broadcast, 7 o'clock tip-off. And then 2 weeks from tonight, UT Pan American, which knocked off the Dons, will be coming to Fort Wayne. Again, next Saturday, the team on the road at New Jersey Tech at the Fleischer Athletics Center in Newark, New Jersey, 7 p.m. tip. Utah Valley State on February 22nd and Texas Pan American on February 24th. That's the next action for IPFW men's basketball. Women's team is playing at South Dakota State tonight. They are 11-11, shooting for win number 12. And then they are back home Wednesday night to take on New Jersey Tech here at the Gates Center. Tip-off at 7 o'clock. That'll be an internet broadcast over Stretch Internet. Go to www.gomastodons.com for that one. Final thoughts, Charlie Washington.
Hope the Dons can keep this going. This is a great momentum, and they're starting to, gel even more, playing together quite well. Some of the pieces are starting to fit in, and hope they can keep the ball rolling.
That'll do it from the Hilliard Gate Sports Center. Again, thanks to Charlie Washington, thanks to Athletic Director Mark Pope, Associate Head Coach Jeff Tungate for appearing with us. Thanks to everybody behind the scenes for making this telecast possible. I'm Mike Maz. Our final score again tonight, IPFW 68, South Dakota State 52. For Charlie Washington, Mike Maz, please enjoy what's left of your Saturday night. We will see you down the road shortly. But now it's time for us to say good night from the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW.